What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back, and from The Root, which is easily one of the, if not the worst, race-baiting propaganda outlets in existence, is Desantis using racism to win the presidency? I mean, can you be any more predictable, right? I mean, for years, we saw them call Donald Trump a racist, worse than a racist, a misogynist, oh, Billy Bush tape, oh, P tape, oh, Russia, Ukraine, all this stuff. And then, of course, the next guy comes in who's not even running for president officially yet. They're already getting out in front of it and saying, well, of course, he's a racist too. They're never going to stop, right? The race card is done. They played it. It's over. They put a fork in it. But they're just going to keep using it. They're going to beat this thing into an absolute paste. And this is written by Bakari Sellers, who is one of the most extreme. I mean, we're talking like worse than Joy Reid, worse than Cenk on the Young Turks. I mean, this guy is really through the roof, right? Worse than what's that guy, the guy who argued with Candace about whether a man could actually get pregnant, Mark Lamont Hill, who I believe got fired from CNN. I mean, this guy is on the outskirts of reality if you're lucky, right? I mean, this guy, I mean, he's going to jump through every single hoop to tell you that if you have one thought, if you make a different lunch order than him, if you watch a movie that he doesn't like, he's going to call you a racist. CNN commentator Bakari Sellers breaks down how Ron DeSantis is leaning into racism to earn a share of the Republican base. And that's what they do. Like Wajahat Ali said, well, Nikki Haley is laundering white supremacy through her brown skin. He's leaning into the racism. It's all absolute nonsense just to tell you that you need to listen to me. I'm going to tell you what to think. I'm going to tell you what to do. And if you don't, I mean, look at this guy. What a little weasel. What an absolute little worm. And look, I'm not a huge DeSantis guy either. I think he's basically the right-wing Gavin Newsom. You know, like there's something about him. There's something a little bit greasy about him. I can't prove it. Now, if we're talking about Ron DeSantis and any weirdo establishment hack shill Democrat, of course I got to go. I mean, this is the point we're at, right? Everybody wants to pretend, oh, well, you can vote third party, but you're going to take the lesser of two evils. That's really the only hope we have right now. And I know that sounds bad, but that's real black pill stuff that we're dealing with. Anyhow, why is Ron DeSantis using racism to gain a base? I mean, did you ever think, did we think for one split second that they were going to say something like, you know, I just don't really like his policy because this, and this. No, his policy is and phobic and everything and waste. Like, they're never just going to talk about the ideas. They're never going to talk about the platform because obviously they lose miserably as soon as you start to talk about an actual substantive argument, right? That's why Kamala Harris just laughs at everything. That's why Joe Biden is constantly saying, come on, man. They're not going to really address the problem. They're just going to tell you, agree or you're racist. Vote for me or you're racist. Shout out to Joe Biden. People often ask me if Ron DeSantis is first sentence. People often ask me if Ron DeSantis is a modern-day white supremacist. There's a line from Andrew Gillum that speaks to that. I'm not calling Mr. DeSantis a racist. I'm simply saying that the racists believe he's a what? Oh, no, so Andrew Gillum, by the way, why on earth would you in the first paragraph, when you're trying to smear Ron DeSantis, bring up a guy who was caught smoking meth with a male hooker covered in poop and vomit in a hotel room? Why would you bring him up when you're trying to smear the guy that won that race? And shout out to Florida for narrowly dodging that bullet. And he also, Bakari Sellers does kind of look like Andrew Gillum. Maybe that's racist too. But why would you bring up that? Because he's obviously not going to talk about that. He's not going to talk about how a married man was literally caught with male prostitutes and dope and a bunch of bodily fluids and needles in a hotel room. And he's got kids. He's not going to talk about that. He's just going to say, well, Andrew Gillum, who lost that race, thinks that Ron DeSantis fans think he's racist. So he's not a racist, but the people that like him think he is, right? This is absolute insanity. These people are just despicable. The manipulation is through the roof. I don't know who's actually reading this, right? Who's actually reading this and believing it? Maybe some college girls somewhere. I don't know. What I can say for sure is that the Republican governor of Florida is using racism as political currency. Oh, he's using it. Not I mean, now, don't get me wrong, Ron DeSantis is, I believe, definitely part of the establishment, whether red or blue, but you're telling me that Ron DeSantis is using the race card. Wow. I mean, the projection, it gets no more obvious than this. He's using racism as political currency. Really? Coming from a guy who's supporting Joe Biden, who notoriously said, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. He's using the race card. Wow, bro. So in the first two paragraphs, he brings up Andrew Gillum, who was notoriously caught in that hotel room, and says that the right wing, Ron DeSantis, is using racism as currency. And I mean, does he believe this? This is a grown man writing this. Does he really believe this? He must know how manipulative and predictable and despicable this all is. There's no way he's not privy to the idea that it's him using race as political currency. There's no way he doesn't know that. But just by him saying it, just by one of these establishment hack shill losers saying it, is what makes it true. It's never going to be proven. It's never going to be questioned. Just the fact that it came out of my mouth, it came out of my pen, my computer, I wrote it, that makes it true. That's enough for him. So, whatever. Larry Elder, blackface of white supremacy. Nikki Haley laundering her racism, laundering her white supremacy through brown skin, even though Nikki Haley's not really that brown. And for the record, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, I both believe to be establishment shills, not quite as bad as the left-wing ones, but they're all in on it, right? As the great, what's his name? It's a big club and you ain't in it. I forget his name. The comedian. Garland, whatever. Moving on. What I can say for sure is that, okay, yeah, he's using racism as political currency, something very similar to Donald Trump. Bro, it doesn't get any more predictable than this. And it's very dangerous. Oh, our democracy is at stake. It's dangerous rhetoric. Meanwhile, there's a group of thugs in Atlanta who firebombed a police training facility or something, right? That's not dangerous. Maxine Waters literally standing up on a soapbox and telling people to get into their face. That's not dangerous. Hillary Clinton saying we can't be civil with these people. That's not dangerous. But Ron DeSantis, what has he done that's so dangerous? Maybe he'll tell us. DeSantis has learned that leaning into his close ties with Trump was a winning strategy. I don't know about that, right? They seem to be, look, DeSantis has not declared, but Trump is taking shots at DeSantis as though he has. Why in the hell are black people moving to red states? Okay, that's a different story. Oh, well, it's a completely different story, but it makes sense, right? It's because it's the blue states are devolving into absolute chaos, and the establishment thinks that black people are so stupid they would rather live in the chaos and believe that everything around them is racist. As though, it's constantly the bigotry of low expectations. They'll never realize that it's us. They'll never realize if we just tell them it's all racist, then they won't move. No, people can see what's happening. That's why they're leaving. That's why I just did a story about businesses leaving New York City. A week or two ago, there was a story about businesses leaving San Francisco. And right, that doesn't really have anything to do with race. But if businesses are leaving because they're not making money and people are stealing, then you got to imagine that everybody, white, black, or otherwise, can also see that, and they're going to leave. But this is how stupid these establishment media hack shill losers think we are. And now what we're seeing due to his actions are these culture wars, whether it's pulling back on African American studies, recreating our history. Oh, rewriting history. Every single thing these people say is exactly what they're doing. It's like clockwork. And then you have a guy like Don Lemon, because the broken clock is right twice a day or once a day. I don't know. So for 98 out of 100 times, he's going to follow the establishment, and then 2 times he's not, and they're going to get mad at him. Attacking who we are, where we come from, and what we've been through, all of it plays to the base. You're just saying that. You just made it up. Who did he attack? What are you talking about? Oh, because he took out CRT or whatever in schools? It's ridiculous. DeSantis is a very little man, literally and figuratively, compared to Donald Trump. He's afraid of debating Donald, and afraid to debate. No, ask Katie Hobbs about that. Ask Joe Biden why he didn't talk to anybody except for Cardi B and Charlemagne the God. Ask him why he didn't go talk to Tucker. Why Joe Biden didn't go talk to Tim Pool or even Jimmy Dore. Why didn't you go talk to somebody who's real, who's going to ask you a real question? Talk about afraid to debate. Every single thing these people say is exactly what they're doing. They're absolute petulant little children, and somehow they have gained complete control. It's really quite scary, actually. He's afraid of debating Donald Trump because of the sharp elbows that come with it. But I think they both understand that the fringes of the party who utilize racism to make their political considerations and decisions are part of a base that could build and grow. And that's the aim he's taking. And these are the same people that are going to say, you know, the MAGA hat is a Klan hood. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy, but it's also very predictable, right? Like, did we think for one split second they were gonna, you know, say I don't like his policy? No, they were just gonna go straight for the tried and true trusty racism card. Now here's why DeSantis is trying to stop our history from being taught. Okay, he's gonna go on a rant about something that's completely untrue, right? We know this guy's not gonna tell the truth. But anyhow, look, the Root is pathetic. Bakari Sellers is pathetic. I'm not a huge DeSantis fan, but at least tell the truth, bro. But what am I talking about? They're never going to tell the truth. They're going to run away from, as far from the truth as humanly possible. And as soon as you say one thing that is true, they're going to get mad at you. These are the same people who are going to tell you that the sun monster is going to kill you. They're going to tell you that the air is unsafe to breathe. Obviously, everything is racist. Boy is girl, man is woman, so on and so forth. So naturally, the guy who hasn't even declared he's running for president is trying to win the presidency using racism. Could you be any more predictable, bro? This is absolutely pathetic. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.